Welcome, Greg Jackson, back to the program. Unfortunately, you missed London last week. You got to actually stay home in Albuquerque. Now you've got 3 fighters, though, fighting this weekend, right? March 5th, 196?
Yeah, we've got Holly, Siyar, and Diego Sanchez.
Okay, let's start with Sierra. How's she looking?
Siyar, he's a male. He's.
I don't know why I just said that. I know who he is, and then what just popped out of my head. How's he doing? Sorry.
He's looking good. You know, he's really cut the weight smart this time. He's trained hard. He's fighting Brandon Thatch, who's a really tough kid, really slick, and so it's going to be a tough fight, but I'm pretty confident.
So I wanted to ask you, because I did hear he wasn't, I don't want to say he had problems, but he just wasn't the best weight cut previous. Did he change a bunch of stuff up to make it a better weight cut?
Yeah, he did. Just getting the right nutritionist and just doing things right. You know what I mean? And he also has a problem. He's been injured the last couple times, so making sure that he had a smart camp. That's what it came down to. He had a smart camp.
Do you know who he brought in as his nutritionist?
I don't. And I'm sure I do, but I get hit in the head a lot still to this day, so it doesn't.
Well, let's be honest, it's tough. You have a lot of athletes you got to deal with, then each athlete, there's some camps like ATT, they have everything in house, so it's like everybody uses the same person. You are a little bit more. If that guy works for you, then go to that guy. If that girl works for you, go to that girl. So
exactly,
you're not gonna know everybody. It's just not. It's not possible.
That's true.
Let's talk about the Nightmare. Big fight
Diego.
for him.
Yeah, he's doing really well. This is the first camp I feel really, really good that he did the right thing all the way through. And he's fighting Jim, and Miller's so tough. They're two grinders, so I expect this one to be an absolute war. Hopefully we'll put together the right things to win. But Miller's so tough, Diego's so tough. It's just one of those. Yeah, two bulls are going right at it.
What's it like for you? Because you do a lot of the game planning and a lot of really getting inside your fighters' heads of letting them know that, hey, this is what's going to work, but sticking with it. But when you got two guys that are this evenly matched, I mean, how tough is it for you as a coach to go, okay, no, this is the game plan we got to use?
Right, and that's the real deal, because you're so right. It's so evenly matched. It's so close that it's the little things that are going to make the difference. So, if Diego stays disciplined and sticks with that game plan, I think we'll do well. But it's just going to be in the heat of the moment. Can you stick to that game plan? Just like you said, can you keep it when it counts? We'll see.
Yeah, he's a gamer no matter what. We make a lot of fun of him, with the guests and all that stuff. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I got to be honest, I could be in the arena out getting a drink, and I hear his walkout music. I'm like, screw you guys. I have to get back to my seat. I want to watch him every single time. It's amazing the way he fights. So
yeah, he's an animal.
Another great fight for you, but you're going to be super busy. I mean, that's a long night for you. 3 fighters in a row. We still got to talk about Holly Holm, but I want to know, in the back, I don't know obviously we know that the Holly's the co-main event, but how do you get guys warmed up when you've got 3 fighters fighting on the same card relatively within 1 or 2 fights of each other every time?
Yeah. Well, lucky for me, I've got a lot of great coaches that can, kind of manage and run things. And we all know I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, so I need all the help I can get.
It's you do a really good job of bullshitting, because you are the sharpest tool in the shed. You've obviously put together for a long time, so you keep saying it, but it's not really true, and we all know it's a game. All right?
I don't know about that, but I try, and I'm really lucky that I have a lot of great coaches that really help me out. So
technically speaking, Holly's a title fight, so she gets 3 cornermen, right? And then everybody else gets 4. So everybody else gets 2. So each group can bring different guys. We know you're going. We know Winklejohn's going.
Yep.
Who else is coming with you guys that you know of?
We have we got a lot of coaches coming. Tusa, Izzy Martinez. We got a lot of good guys coming in the back. Even some of our fighters, Conrad Padilla, some of the other fighters are coming in to just help me warm up people and stuff. So we should have a pretty organized backstage event. We'll see how it works out, but it should be pretty organized.
Now, before we talk about Holly, I'm going to tell you the best case scenario for me.
Okay.
Misha wins, because it creates that whole chaos, crapola mess that I love about MMA. Obviously, the best case scenario for you is to have Holly win. That's what you're putting all your time and effort into.
Sure.
How much different was this training camp with Holly's confidence now, knowing that she is the best fighter in the weight class?
Right.
Going into this camp, getting ready for really, in my mind, a super tough space.
100%. I think this is going to be one of the toughest fights of Holly's career because Misha's so versatile. You know what I mean? She can take you down. She can kickbox with you. She's got great grappling. She's really intense on her pressure. I think that she brings so many tools to the fight that it's going to be really hard for us. I mean, we can't bank in any one area. We got to be ready for her to kickbox with us. We got to be ready for her to constantly try to take us down, use trips. And, and sometimes it's not, nobody knows this better than you, but sometimes it's not that first shot that gets in. It's the second and the third. It's that relentless style, So she's really, really dangerous, and we've trained really hard for her. I hope it works out in our favor, but I'm aware that Misha, I don't think you should ever sleep on Misha. She's mentally tough, too. She'll take a beating and come back in the last second and still win.
Who did Holly train with mainly to get ready for Misha? Because Misha does envelop 3 different kind of styles that are really hard to find in one person. But I'm sure you have enough guys. You have enough guys and girls in the camp to help mimic parts of it.
We do. So we try to mimic every little part of it, and mostly, honestly, Holly spars with guys. She does lighter weight guys most of the time. So we do have some females that jump in there with her, but 9 times out of 10, she goes with the guys that are like 135, 145 pounds. So she's used to that strength. And we just had different, sometimes we brought in a guy that was just trying to take her down the whole time and then kickbox and then mix the two up. And the jiu-jitsu, she's been working really hard with myself and Tusa and Barata. And so we're well prepared. So it's one of those things where we just got to see what happens now. The ball is in the air, as they say.
You still get butterflies when you're walking out, and you don't get them when you're walking out. I know that, but when you get up on the edge and it's like, okay, now I'm sitting in my chair, they're getting ready to start it. Do you still get the butterflies when your athletes are ready to compete?
Yeah, for some of them especially. Like these big fights, I'm always like, did I do everything right? Because if they lose, I mean, it's always, the other person did a great job in winning, but I always blame myself. I'm always like, well, I should have done something different. I didn't figure that out. So. And these guys have a lot on the line. They're the ones in there going at it, and I want to make sure I did my part and everything's prepared. So if I feel pretty prepared, then I'm okay. But if I feel like, oh, what if we didn't do something? That's when I get butterflies.
We're going to finish with BJ Penn, but I want to ask you something else too. I've noticed this about you. You put all the pressure on you, and you take all the pressure off your athlete. Like if they fail, it's because you screwed something up during training camp. I've seen fighters do this and not last maybe 2 or 3 years in the sport before they completely crack and fall apart. We've seen fighters, like hugely named fighters, just completely shatter because they put so much pressure on themselves. As a coach, this weekend you've got 3 fighters fighting. Throughout the month, you probably have 15 guys and girls fighting. How do you make it through the year without completely cracking and going nuts? I mean, because you literally put all the pressure is on you.
Well, I mean, it's just I've been doing it for so long that I know how to deal with it. For me, I do better when there's pressure on me. I'm more of a game day guy than anything else. So if I feel that pressure, it keeps me sharp. It keeps me there. And if they fail and I let them down or whatever, I have to accept that. I have to look in the mirror and I got to be like, damn it, you can't do that again. Here's what we got to learn from this and move on. But yeah, it's not easy. Someday I'll retire and come hang out with you and never have to do this stuff ever again. You
won't know what to do with yourself in retirement. You'll be going nuts.
We'll go mountain rock climbing. We'll do all kinds of fun stuff.
Oh, jeez. I can't wait for that day, Greg. I can't wait for that day.
Yes, sir.
All right, buddy. Last question before we get out of here. BJ obviously had a little bit of a setback, had some personal issues pop up. Obviously, WADA stopped him from the March 5th fight, which is what he was trying to get into. Hopefully, he was going to get into the April 23rd fight. That obviously now has been pushed again because of his personal issues. But how has his mood been and his attitude been in the gym since this stuff has come out?
Well, like I said, BJ is kind of the opposite of what everybody told me. Everybody said he was going to be lazy and stuff, and he's here every day, twice. He texts me all the time. What should I do now? What should I do now? He's so hungry, and these personal issues. I hope everything comes to light and he works it out right, and everything turns out okay. But as far as his attitude, he's in here just training. He loves it. Like yesterday, we spent hours in the cage just figuring out new stuff. It reminds me of, when you were first starting to figure it out and you were, and you can do this and you can do that and all that stuff. That's kind of where he was. Yeah,
good. I like it. I like the way he works. I like the way he is, and it's smart. And I actually know a little bit more about the case than most people do. And he's gonna be fine. It's gonna be
good.
Fine. So.
I like you to say that's good coming from you, brother.
Yeah. All right, Greg. You have a great trip over to Las Vegas. Have a great weekend, man. I hope you have. I do for you. I hope you walk out of there 3-0. I mean, it's gonna be a good weekend.
We're gonna try our best. Thank you so much, sir.
You got it, buddy. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, brother man. Like.
Bye.